Imagine landing your dream job, perfect salary, modern office, flexible hours. But what if it's all just a carefully crafted illusion? This is the story of how one guy's life got turned upside down by technology, trust, and deception. You ever have that moment where everything feels too perfect? Yeah, that was me. Tuesday morning, still in my pajama pants, sipping cold coffee from yesterday, and boom, an email pops up. Subject: welcome to Initech Solutions buddy. Congratulations, Alex. You've been selected for the senior software developer position. Your annual salary will be $100,000 with performance bonuses and a flexible remote first schedule. Your first day, Monday. We're excited to have you on board. I swear, I thought it was spam. For a second, I even hovered over the report phishing button, but I recognized the recruiter's name from LinkedIn, checked the sender's domain, looked clean, and honestly, I didn't care. I needed this. I'd been job hunting for freaking months. Interviews, ghosting, more interviews, rent overdue. Bank account looked like a horror movie, so yeah, I clicked accept like it was the last slice of pizza at a party. The following Monday, I pulled up to the office building in downtown Austin. Glass walls, rooftop patio, kombucha bar in the lobby, a goddamn indoor swing set. I thought, okay, maybe this is finally my break. Receptionist was bubbly, the kind that calls everyone hon. She gave me a badge and pointed me to the elevators. My new boss, Derek, met me on the top floor. Late 30s, expensive looking haircut. Wear sneakers like they cost more than my rent. Alex, my man, we're stoked to have you. He fist bumped me like we'd been frat bros since freshman year. He walked me through the office, open floor plan, standing desks, someone riding a hoverboard like it was no big deal. Then he handed me a sealed envelope. Your contract, he said. Standard stuff. Just sign and drop it at HR before lunch. I sat down at my new desk, fully loaded MacBook, AirPods, even a branded coffee mug with my name already printed on it. That detail creeped me out a bit. How did they get my name printed that fast? I opened the contract, skimmed through it while chugging my first coffee of the day. Salary check. Hours reasonable. Vacation generous. Legalese boring as hell. But one sentence stood out, hidden near the bottom, in italics. Employee agrees to allow the company unrestricted use of personal data, content, and intellectual property shared through company systems. I blinked. Read it again. Wait, what? I felt this weird tickle of paranoia in the back of my skull, but then I laughed it off. Probably just boilerplate, I told myself. Tech companies love their weird legal nonsense. I signed. That night, after my first day, I passed by Derek's office. His door was half open. He didn't notice me. He was on the phone. I paused for a second. Yeah, he signed today, Derek said. Right on schedule. He closed his laptop the second he saw me. Smiled. Good work today, Alex. You're gonna crush it here. I smiled back, but my gut whispered something different. This job might not be what it seems. Now imagine what happens next. But before that, smash that like button and hit subscribe, cause the craziest part is just getting started. Day 3. The excitement started fading fast. There was no onboarding, no meetings, no orientation videos or IT forms. Just a Slack message from Derek. Hey man, just start poking around the client interface project. No rush. We trust you. No rush? That's a weird thing to tell a new hire. The weirdest part, I had no idea who the client was. No project brief, no design files. Just a Figma link labeled V3 Final Actual Final 3 and a bunch of lorem ipsum pasted everywhere. I DM'd a coworker named Lori, quiet girl, mid-20s, always had headphones in. Hey, quick question, do you know who this client is? Just want to be sure I'm working in the right direction. She replied 5 minutes later. Just follow the mock-up. That's what they want. No smiley, no name, cold as ice. By the afternoon, I started getting that same heavy feeling in my chest I had when I caught my ex cheating. You don't see it, but your gut already knows. During lunch, I sat alone in the break room, scrolling LinkedIn, trying to find any mention of Initech Solutions. Nothing. Their company page had to post one generic graphic from 6 months ago and a "we're hiring" post with 0 engagement, no comments, no likes. The employee list had only 8 people. Half didn't even have profile pics. Okay, chill, I told myself. Maybe it's a stealth mode startup. Maybe they like to keep things quiet. But something wasn't adding up. Why give me a 6-figure offer if they're flying under the radar? Later that day, I walked past a meeting room with the blinds halfway open. Inside, Derek and 2 other guys were huddled around a screen. One of them pointed at what looked like a spreadsheet with hundreds of rows of emails, names, some kind of customer data. I couldn't be sure. When I came in, they immediately closed the laptop and Derek gave me that same fake corporate grin. Alex, buddy, you settling in okay? Yeah, just exploring a bit, I muttered. Love the initiative, he said, and slapped my shoulder. But then that night I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Stop digging, that's it. No name, no explanation. I froze. Was this some prank? Wrong number. I replied, who is this? No response. I didn't sleep that night. I lay awake wondering, what the hell did I just sign up for? By Friday, I was basically in full detective mode. I stopped treating this place like a job and started treating it like a trap I accidentally walked into. I came in early, before most people showed up. I figured I'd poke around and see if I could find anything real about the project I was supposedly working on. I opened up the shared company drive. Most folders were empty or locked. The few I could access had the weirdest names. Quarterly Adjustments Archive 5. Her upload temp do not use. Materials inside that last one was just one file, a PDF titled Form 913A External Intake. No logo, no header, just rows and rows of client data names, emails, IP addresses, device IDs, approximate locations. It looked like something scraped off people's phones. Legit thousands of entries. I felt the blood drain from my face. Who the hell were these people? I checked the metadata. The doc was edited 4 hours ago. By Derek. Okay, no more benefit of the doubt. Something's up. Later that day, I found myself in the break room with Jason, the only person in the office who didn't look like he was dead inside. Hey, I said quietly, can I ask you something? He raised an eyebrow. This place, it's weird, right? Like, you feel that too? Jason looked over his shoulder, leaned in, and whispered, you ever hear the story about the intern who asked too many questions? I blinked. What happened? He gave a tired smile. No one really knows. She stopped showing up. HR said she left for personal reasons. No goodbye. Just gone. I laughed nervously. That a warning? He didn't answer, just sipped his coffee and walked out. Later that evening, I got another message. Different number this time. Stop digging. Last warning. My hands were shaking. I tried calling the number, straight to voicemail. I screenshotted the messages and sent them to my friend Mark. He's a cop, well, technically a cybersecurity investigator. I told him I was starting to think I'd walked into something shady, maybe illegal. He called me back immediately. Bro, get out. I've heard of companies like this. Shell fronts, fake LLCs. They make employees sign NDAs, contracts full of legal traps, and then they use them to launder data. Sometimes worse. Worse how? Sometimes they don't let people leave. I laughed. That's a bit dramatic. He didn't laugh back. I'm serious. Keep your head down. Don't say anything to anyone. That night, I started looking up every name I could remember from the office on LinkedIn. Half of them didn't exist. The other half, their profiles looked wrong. Stock photos, no career history, no endorsements, fake, all of it. My stomach turned. I went to bed around 2 a.m., heart pounding. And then my phone lit up again. Another number. You're being watched. I walked into work Monday morning like I was stepping into a minefield. Every beep of the elevator made my skin crawl. Every fake smile from my coworkers felt forced, rehearsed like they were all in on something I wasn't supposed to know. My heart damn near stopped when I found the HR manager's office. Empty. I mean, completely cleared out. Desk bare. Nameplate gone. Not a single trace she'd ever been there. I asked around, hey, what happened to Amanda? Lori looked up from her desk, blank-faced. Transferred. Transferred? To where? She shrugged. Don't know. Just got the memo. No one else would look me in the eye. Jason wasn't even in. It was like the walls had closed and overnight. I sat back at my desk, hands shaking slightly. My computer was already on. Someone had used it. I could tell because the cursor was in a different spot than where I left it. In the coffee mug I always left on the right side, now on the left. Paranoia or not, someone had been messing with my stuff. That's when I noticed a yellow sticky note under my keyboard. Just a few words, scribbled fast, almost like the writer was in a rush. It's a trap. Get out. No name. But I recognized the handwriting. Amanda's. I took a picture and shoved the note in my wallet. That afternoon, I pretended to go to the restroom and snuck down to the parking garage. My plan? Go home, pack, and disappear. Simple. except someone was already standing by my car. It was Derek. He was leaning against the driver's side door, arms crossed, smiling like the devil in a Patagonia vest. "Hey, Alex," he said casually, as if we were old pals catching up over drinks. "You heading out early?" I tried to act normal. "Yeah, wasn't feeling great." He nodded slowly. "Long weekend." Happens. Silence. Then, without changing tone, he added, "You've been asking a lot of questions." I froze. "Sorry, you're smart, Alex. We hired you because you're smart. But sometimes smart people get too curious. And curiosity, not always a good thing in this business." He stepped closer. "I want you to understand something. You're already in. You signed the contracts. You used the systems. You know things." His voice dropped. "There's no easy way out of this." A chill ran down my spine. "What is this?" I whispered. "What are you even doing here?" Derek smiled wider. "We help companies optimize, find untapped value in data, predict consumer behavior, reduce uncertainty. That's just corporate gibberish." He chuckled. "Yeah, but it sells well." I opened my mouth to say anything, but he cut me off. "You'll go back upstairs now. You'll do your job, and you'll stop digging." His smile vanished. "Or things get messy." I didn't respond. I couldn't. I felt like my lungs forgot how to breathe. Derek stepped aside, gesturing at my car. "But hey, your call. I just figured we'd have this little chat, man to man." He walked away without another word, just disappeared into the stairwell like some fucking movie villain. I stood there for a full 5 minutes before I could move. I didn't leave. I went back upstairs, sat down at my desk like nothing happened, and I did what I do best. I started planning. Because if there was one thing I knew for damn sure, it was this: I'm getting the hell out of here. But I'm not going quietly. By Tuesday, I had a plan. It was half-baked, sure, but better than sitting around waiting to disappear like Amanda or that intern Jason mentioned. I texted Mark again. "I need out. Like now. Can you meet?" We met that night at a Whataburger off I-35. Middle of nowhere. Quiet. Safe enough. Mark looked even more serious than before. "You look like shit," he said, unwrapping his burger. "I feel worse." He listened as I walked him through everything: the files, the fake profiles, the sticky note, the text threats, Derek by my car, every single red flag. When I finished, he leaned back, face tense. "You're definitely in something dirty. But if what you're saying is true, they've covered their tracks better than I've ever seen. So what the hell do I do?" He hesitated. "Honestly, you need evidence. Real evidence. Not screenshots. Not LinkedIn stalking. Something they can't deny in court." My stomach dropped. "You want me to go back in?" I'm saying. "If you want help from the feds or press or anyone, you need proof." I sat there, just staring at the table. Then I nodded. "Okay, then I'll get it." The next morning, I brought a flash drive. Not the company-issued one, mine, hidden in my sock, just in case. I wasn't sure what I was even looking for. Maybe that creepy file again. Maybe something worse. I just needed one smoking gun. The office felt tighter than before. Eyes on me. Conversations cut short when I walked by. Even Lori wouldn't look at me now. Around a.m., I noticed a door slightly ajar at the end of the hallway. It was marked "Server Room Authorized Only," normally locked. But today, I slipped in, low humming, cold air, racks of hardware blinking in the dark. I didn't know what I was doing, but I saw a terminal logged in. Someone forgot to lock it. I plugged in my drive and ran a quick system search for anything with client data, external or Derek. Bingo. Folder, D-access, off-grid clients tier for inside, over 200 PDFs. Every one looked like that first creepy file I found: personal info, access logs, browser history, mic usage data, even partial audio clips. Thousands of people, tracked. I dragged everything onto my flash drive. Heart pounding, hands sweaty. And that's when I heard footsteps. I yanked the drive, shoved it back in my sock, and slipped out the side exit. Tried to act casual. Not sure it worked. By the end of the day, I had the drive. I had the evidence. I called Mark. "Meet me tonight." Same spot, but he didn't show. I waited over an hour. Texted. Called. Nothing. At 10:38 p.m., I got a message from his number: he won't be coming. Just that. No explanation. I froze in my car. I called again. Straight to voicemail. Then I checked my apartment security cam. Offline. I bolted home fast. Everything looked normal, until I noticed my laptop was gone. Just gone. Table wiped clean. Not even dust left. and on the mirror in my bathroom, a message written in red lipstick, "You're not leaving." I backed up slowly. The room spun. It felt like I'd swallowed ice. They'd been here, not just watching inside my goddamn home. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the floor with a baseball bat in one hand and the flash drive in the other. At 8 a.m., a new message hit my phone. "If you go public, we go personal." That was it. No more games. These people weren't bluffing, and I was out of time. Wednesday. 3 days since the lipstick message. 1 day since Mark vanished. I hadn't gone back to work. I didn't even leave my apartment. Curtains closed, lights off, bat still by the door, flash drive under my pillow. I was spiraling. But then I got an email. Subject: Initech Annual Future Data Forum. Buddy, you've been selected to represent our developer innovation team. Keynote speaker, Downtown Austin Convention Center, Friday, a.m. sharp. Keynote. Me. I read it 10 times. It wasn't a request. It was a goddamn order. That was it. The breaking point. They wanted to parade me in front of people, to fake legitimacy while they harvested data behind the scenes. No. I had one shot to flip the script. I spent Thursday preparing, not the speech they expected my speech. I copied the most damning files from the flash drive into a hidden Dropbox, created a QR code linking to it. I embedded it in my slides, disguised as a client case study. I rehearsed, over and over, sweaty palms, dry mouth, heart racing, and I told myself, this is it, no more hiding. Friday, 8:45 a.m., I stepped onto the massive stage at the convention center. Hundreds of people, spotlights, rows of suits, partners, clients, media. Derek was front row, smiling like a fucking shark. I cleared my throat, clicked the remote. Slide 1, Initech Designing the Future, bullshit title. Whatever. I started slow, played the part, explained how our innovations helped optimize user experience. Slide 3, the QR code. Here's a recent use case from a client we're incredibly proud of. Feel free to scan this to explore the data yourselves. A few phones went up. I saw Derek's smile falter. Slide 5. I ditched the script. Actually, I lied. The room froze. What I'm about to show you wasn't approved, but it's the truth. Gasps. Whispers. I clicked again. A screenshot of one of the files, full names, birth dates, locations all tagged here for sensitive monitoring. I found this on our internal servers. And this isn't just one file. It's hundreds, maybe thousands. People you've never met. Being watched, tracked, recorded. Security started moving. Derek stood up. That's enough, Alex. I kept talking. These people didn't opt in. They didn't consent. This company's built on stolen trust and stolen lives. Suddenly blackout. Total darkness. The mic cut. Projector off. Panic in the room. Some people started shouting. Others rushing for exits. I stood there, frozen. Then footsteps behind me. A man I didn't recognize stepped onto the stage. Earpiece in. Suit to tight. Looked more government than security. He leaned in. Come with me. Now. I didn't move. Who the hell are you? He showed me a badge. Too fast to read, but I followed. We exited through a back hallway, downstairs, past locked doors, into a black SUV parked in a restricted zone. No logos, no plates. Inside was a woman in her 40s, calm, cold eyes. She handed me a folder. Everything you downloaded, it's already been contained. I blinked. You're with them? No, she said. Not exactly. What do you mean? Stories fade. People forget. You go public, they smear you, destroy you, or worse. And if I vanish, you get a new name, new job, clean slate, somewhere far. Why me? She smiled faintly. Because you asked questions. Most don't. The SUV started moving. I sat there, folder on my lap, 1,000 thoughts racing. After 10 minutes of silence, she asked, "So, what'll it be?" I stared out the tinted window. The city blurred past. "I don't know yet," I said quietly. She nodded. "That's okay. You've got time." I never gave an answer. The next day, the story never broke. The Dropbox folder, deleted. Mark, still gone. My lease canceled itself. My accounts were frozen, then replaced. My name was gone. But sometimes, when I walk the streets of whatever city this is now, someone looks at me just a second too long. And I wonder, do they know? Were they part of it? Or maybe, like me, they just asked one question too many.